Hi everyone, so with some more updates in the PTR, I want to talk about the GR150 clear that we have done after essentially just a few hours of release of the PTR. So here it is. So this took us, I don't know, something like 6 or 8 hours or so to do. We started from level 1 with nothing, we grinded all the way up to level 70, we started getting keys, paragons, etc. It's kind of easy on PTR, you have a ×4 XP boost and you also get all loot for free basically. All the new soul shards, which are insane. So if you want to go check those out, I have a dedicated video on them already, showing them all. They are incredibly cool and incredibly powerful. And then we decided at some point, okay, it is time to do GR150. And we did that with an Impale Demon Hunter and 3 supports. Now this is obviously not a real setup. Impale Demon Hunter is nowhere near good enough to do anything like that. It is mainly an 100% unintended interaction between the essence of Anguish gem that allows your killing blows to spread its damage in an AoE, combined with the Sever sword that deals an insane amount of damage as a cosmetic number. And this damage can actually be spread through this killing blow effect, essentially one-shotting everything in the game in GR150 in format parties. And this is exactly what we did, and we had a lot of fun with it. Essentially just exploiting our way to GR150. And now we also see these other demon hunters with Impale popping up everywhere, which is even more hilarious in my opinion, because they do the same thing and for some reason they just copy Impale, which is absolutely not the right build to do this with because it's so weak. In any case, we had a hilarious night just one-shotting our way to 150. Essentially, sometimes it procs, sometimes it doesn't. The way that Sever works is that you need to do more than half of the monster's remaining HP with your last hit, but you can't do too much damage to actually kill it with your own damage. So it is a bit RNG whether you hit the right amount when the monster is down to like 0.5% HP, and then for example you do like 0.3% in the one hit, and then the Sever will finish it and proc the killing blow effect and then spread it and kill everything. So it's not a 100% guarantee in case you're trying anything like this, but there's also not really a point in trying because we have had many Sever exploits in the past and this is just yet another one. Impale on its own is obviously not that good. It got something like a 6 to 8 tier buff. We have to see exactly how this AoE component will really push the build, but it might be just short of like the growth DH potential now. So somewhere along those lines, I believe, when you really push Impale to the maximum. And then Marauder seems to be the new top dog for the Demon Hunter at least. So far I haven't really gotten a lot of solo testing in there. I've only played the PTR for like 10 hours or so by now, and most of that is mostly just grinding up the gems, grinding the gear, sorting out gear. So this all takes a really long time, and to get like any kind of reasonable impression of how the season bonus works, how the new changes work, we have to wait a couple more days for people to actually go into more detail. The thing is also that soul shards affect all the builds in the game in different ways because of how imbalanced they are for certain builds. So one build might get something like a 5 tier buff, some other build might get something like a 15 tier buff. So obviously this doesn't really help much with testing, and we also just have to sit down and think about literally 100 different builds and try to fit in all those soul shards and potentially adjust setups and see exactly how much the power level rises of each of them. So I imagine this will take the full 2 weeks of the PTR, blasting all day, every day to even get a grasp of that. And we might even have some changes mid-patch as well, because some of the soul shards are very imbalanced. I believe some will be buffed, some will be nerfed a bit, and we have to see exactly how this will adjust the overall rankings of the builds. But for now, Inas is definitely, as expected, without nerf, one of the top builds. Mundunugu is looking very good. The new Arachyr, it seems quite underwhelming so far, but I think this is kind of the expectation for a new build. They always come in quite weak and then overall it will be buffed later on. So I'm not really too worried about that, but it does seem quite clunky. So something has to be done about quality of life and the fluidity of the build, I guess. And the Marauder seems to be in overall a pretty decent shape, but also probably not good enough for group meta with how strong Innas monks are and potentially the witch doctors. And that's it for this update from the PTR, so hope you like that. I have a lot more stuff coming up. I'll be streaming all day, I'll be making videos the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time.